first before we go. No, you don't have to do your hand check. Yeah, give down. The reason why, and if the elder needs a seat, have the elder take a seat. Notice I have my braces on under my pants. My wife made me put them under my pants, and they're slipping down. And I usually, when they're outside, I can pull them up. But anyway.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, isn't that a trip? I mean, but I'm still trying to pull them up. In the films that you saw, sister, thank you. I'm born on 125th Street, St. Nicholas Avenue in Harlem, New York.
We need to talk.
Wow.
125th Street, St. Nicholas Avenue in Harlem, New York. What y'all saw on that street, which they called the jitterbug area and all that stuff, that was normal.
Yeah.
What you did not see, and what you have to understand, is it was always done in pairs. Or everything was done in pairs. One of the most significant movies that was done, Sister showed on the screen. And by the way, you showed some footage that they rarely ever show. You have the whole footage from Cab Calloway and them, and the Nicholas brothers. They rarely showed the beginning of that and that whole. So you had all of that. But anyway, in Cabin in the Sky, one of the most beautiful films is about the African culture. You may not see it, you may not understand it, you may not know it, but that's what it's about. The ending of the movie is what it's all about. What it says is that relationship between you and God is not just you and God, it's always those who are connected to you. Just like you're connected to each other right now. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, the movie goes through some real changes where the battle is between Lucifer's son and one of the angels. And the battle goes on and they're competing against each other for the soul of God's most prolific lady. She is definitely grounded. She knows who God is. God knows who she is. At the end of the movie, y'all probably haven't seen it, so maybe you did. Both of them are killed, and they're at the pearly gates. They're there, ready to go in. And the message comes down, and the message says to her, you can go. And the music starts, the angel starts singing, and she starts up the stairs. And as she's going up the stairs, she stops, and she turns around, and she says, well, come on, little Joe, come on. Gabriel at the gate says, little Joe can't go. She's halfway up the stairs. She said, what? Gabriel said, little Joe can't go. She turns around, comes back down the stairs, and she says, well, if little Joe can't go, I'm not going. Now, what you have to understand here is in our culture, that's the way it always has been. That relationship between you and your family members, especially that person that's close to you. They had a problem at the gate because this child represented everything that was meant by being faithful to God. All through her life, she was there doing what was necessary and never tripped, never tripped. She was the faithful servant, but her loyalty was to her mate. Her loyalty was to that person that she was there with. That's an African proverb, the pair. And so that's what y'all heard in the room today. Where every time one of them spoke, they talk about that pair that they were attached to. So you have to understand, we have to understand that pair. So never mind what happened, but lo and behold, all of a sudden, Gabriel went, what's that, Lord? And then he said, oh, okay. And he said that, little Joe, you can go. Now what had happened is, her influence on little Joe had influenced all the others that little Joe was being in contact with. And they all did what is called the righteous thing. And so that all connected until she was able and he was able to go together. So that was the message that I'm trying to say to you, that we're not just by ourselves. Everything we do, and that's what y'all was saying here, it has value and it definitely influences someone else. Even though you may not know it, it does influence something else. And the drums that we use in the African-centered culture is the heartbeat, the way I say it, of the mother. Why the mother? Well, because the way I say it, you don't get here unless you come through the mother. Now, of course, there's a relationship with the father, but it's the mother that brings you here. And that heartbeat from the drum, if it rolls, I'm gone. Okay. And that heartbeat from the mother in 3 notes we have goes with that. In our music, just like when the Nicholas brothers were dancing, you have the bass. Without that bass, our music does not happen. Sorry. And I know some of y'all went to people's parties and they had no bass in the music, and y'all went to see what was wrong with their machine. So the bass gives you that thing. That gives you that pulse. That's the mother's heartbeat. All of us heard that mother's heartbeat first. Before we heard anything else, or responded to anything else, it was the mother heartbeat. I might be able to do this. Y'all be like, what the heck is that? But if I go, all right? So it's the different understanding. So as we come together, we can say, we are African people. Come on, clap this. We are African people. Now wait a minute. Y'all act like this is Zoom. I can see y'all and y'all can move and see each other. All right? So as we do this step, we'll move it to that and you go. We are African people. African people. We are Now, take your left hand, put it out with the palm up. Do not touch anybody. That means you're receiving information from AA. You're receiving the information because you researched it. Take your right hand, put it out with the palm down. That means you're giving that information from AA. Now, bring them over the person next to you. Don't touch them. You should be able to feel something from them. You should be able to feel it. Yeah. Some of y'all ain't got no feelings. Y'all dead. We'll leave y'all alone. You should be able to feel it. Now, in the moment of understanding who we are, where we are, and where we're going, the 30, the past, the present, and future, we must be silent so we can feel. Come on, little Joe. Thank you.